Get ready for some mouth-watering flank steak with caramelized onions. This is about a 3-pound flank steak. If you're using a larger one, just make more marinade. For the marinade, we're going to go with a half a cup of olive oil, a half a cup of orange juice, 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 2 tablespoons of this honey garlic sweet barbecue rub. This is probably the secret ingredient on this one, this and the orange juice. Mix this up real well. The flavor of this, when you give it a taste, it should be sweet and tangy. Adjust it to your liking. Put the marinade all over this bad boy, and then this is going to go in the refrigerator for 2 to 4 hours. About halfway through, give this guy a flip and put it back in. Once it's done, I like to put this ugly side down. Just personal preference. Going to top this with some SPG. You're not going to need to put a lot on here because the marinade, that's salt, pepper, garlic. And then hit this again with that sweet honey garlic rub. And this, you can go heavy-handed on this. That flavor is banging, and I pretty much, like I said, this is the secret ingredient of this recipe. Set your oven to 275, and while that's warming up, we're going to prep the onion. You're going to cut up 1 full onion for this one, just roughly chopped. Get these onions in a bowl and then add a bunch of olive oil and some dry red wine. I'm using the Blackstone for this. You can use a cast iron skillet or any other heavy skillet, but get this screaming hot. These onions, you're just going to get them nice and translucent and have them suck up all that color from the red wine, and then they're done. On with the flank steak. Start off with the ugly side down and just make sure this thing is screaming hot. You're only going to do about 2 minutes per side. That's the way it works on my Blackstone. I like searing on the Blackstone because you can flip it over onto a hot section. It just makes it sear quicker. And it also keeps your smoke detectors from going off in your house. Once this thing's got a good brown color on each side, you're going to put it back into the juice. We're going to bring this guy inside now that we've got a nice sear on the outside and get it ready to go in the oven. You're going to wrap this up in some heavy-duty aluminum foil. Get that prepped down there on the foil. Add the onions on top of this and all the juices that kind of weeped out into that bowl. Also going to add some more of the marinade on top because you just want this thing just juicy. And all those flavors from the onion and the wine just rip through this thing. It's fantastic. Seal it up nice and tight in aluminum foil. I'm going to use my cheater stick here. You want an internal temperature of 205. You want this thing falling apart. Into the oven, I use a drip tray there because it does leak out of the hole that I made with the meter stick. You might not need one if you're not using a probe. But this cook is going to take about 2 hours, like I said. You want the internal temperature to be at 205 because you want this thing falling apart. Once it's rested for about 20 minutes, you're ready to open up and cut into it. And when you get that first whiff after you open up that foil, the whole family's going to come running. You got to try this recipe. It's juicy, delicious. It's got a sweet, tangy flavor to it. The caramelized onions are delicious to eat by themselves or on top of the meat. I kept it simple with some white rice on the side, but however you decide to do it, you're going to love it.